What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to True Raider Podcast, and it is time to talk about Jackson Powers Johnson. So Jackson Powers Johnson is currently dealing with a rib injury. He was held out of practice on August 10th due to soreness from being punched in the ribs. While the injury is not expected to be long-term, he is currently managing soreness as a precaution. Now, the more detailed breakdown, it says the cause was the injury occurred during practice when he was punched in the ribs, right? The severity, while he is experiencing soreness, the injury is not considered to be a long-term issue. So basically, he's expected to return. He's not going to be out very long. A lot of people were kind of up in arms, like, oh, well, you know, Jackson Powers Johnson was with the second team. He wasn't with the first team during practice. And the thing is that he was on the sideline. He was dealing with the injury. That's why he wasn't with the first team. People think that Jackson Powers Johnson's falling off. Seeing people on social media saying, oh, well, he's going to get traded and blah, blah, blah. And that's not the case at all. In fact, I don't even think that Jordan Meredith is a lock to make center. I think that Pete Carroll right now is trying to figure out if Jordan Meredith can play good at center, because if he does, then Jackson Powers Johnson being in between DJ Glaze and Jordan Meredith really kind of shores up that right side of the line. But the thing is, man, is that, like, Pete Carroll even said it in the press conference, that they're trying out guys with the first team, with the second team. They're taking looks at it. They're trying to figure out how people look at different positions, if they can step up, giving people the opportunity, and also just kind of seeing what's the best mixture, right? What is the best mixture of our offensive line? Like, if you put 5 guys out there and you put them at different positions and you try out, you know, what's it going to look like, you can absolutely get your best 5 guys out there. Now, let's say that, you know, Jackson Powers Johnson, let's just theoretical numbers, right? Let's say Jackson Powers Johnson is like a 90 score at center, right? And then Jordan Meredith is like a 75 score at right guard, right? But you swap them around and you put Jackson Powers Johnson at right guard and Jordan Meredith at center. Jordan Meredith, let's say he plays 80 at center and Jackson Powers Johnson plays 85 at right guard. That kind of, like, that still gives you better overall numbers, right? And I understand that whole analogy, but the thing that gets me is that Jordan Meredith played great at left guard last year, and Jackson Powers Johnson played great at center. So I really feel like Dylan Parham is kind of a bigger problem, and he seems to be a lock to be at left guard, and that's kind of bugging me, because Jackson Powers Johnson should be our center, right? And I did see some speculation that maybe Alex Kappa being out with the rib injury could be the reason why they're moving Jackson Powers Johnson to right guard right now, because maybe Alex Kappa was kind of set to be that right guard. But I'm not very convinced, because I know Alex Kappa played very good in the past, but last year with the Bengals, and mind you, the Bengals have an atrocious offensive line, and so you're going to look bad on that offensive line no matter how good you are. Alex Kappa was rated as the worst guard in the NFL out of starters last year, right? And so I'm not really convinced about that whole theory. Really, what I'm thinking is that Jackson Powers Johnson is likely going to be our center. If they move forward with him at right guard, honestly, I'm going to be surprised, right? But that would just mean that they got to see enough tape on Jordan Meredith at center, and that's what Pete Carroll said during the press conference, is that, you know, they played him for the whole first half because they really wanted to have enough tape to get a good decision on that. You guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think that our offensive line is in bad shape, or do you really believe that, you know, we're just doing vanilla play calling, right? We're doing vanilla play calling, and that's exactly how Pete Carroll said. They didn't call anything complicated, and, you know, yeah, we looked horrible against the Seahawks, but, like, come on, man. We ain't out there trying to win a Super Bowl or some shit, right? It's preseason. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Like always, I love you, nation. I'll catch you on the next one.